Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I am making this quick video because my heart is broken. So, a quick little story. I watch a channel called The Garden and Worm Lady. You know, this awesome lady. Very sweet lady. She been raising worms over 20 years and, she has a channel and I've watched a bunch of her videos, on my journey, learning about worms and stuff because I know this was something that was interested in doing. So, as I was watching, she had, I'm here spinning castings. She had a little experiment going where she had a worm bin with, I think, 4 species of worms. I think it was pure red wrigglers, European night crawlers, African night crawlers, and Louisiana swamp worms. See how they all get along in the same bin. Very successful experiment. And so, anyways, it's funny how the castings look lighter on camera than they actually do. Because if I say black gold to you right now, you wouldn't really know what I mean. You'd have to see it yourself because this has a very dark color. It's almost as dark as the bin when you look at it in real life. But on camera, it's a little bit washed out. Anyways, it was a successful experiment. So she decided to put those worms up for sale. And out of everybody, I was able to get those worms because I wanted to continue that experiment. Oh, look at this little guy here. So I have a little cup right here with some moist bedding. Anytime I see a little one, I've been putting them in there. So anyway, I won the bid and got the worms. And was doing so well with them. Really awesome worms. They were very healthy. I mean, she takes awesome care of her worms. I even just got some red wigglers from her because her red wigglers are pure. There's no blue worms mixed into them. So, I've always wanted to get some from her, other than the 4 species, because I wanted to breed those red wigglers. I wanted to have a pure stock as well. So when she had the 4 species, I knew there was going to be pures in there as well. So, I was very interested, put it like that. And so I had them in this bin, which as you see, I had marked it so I know which bins I'm working with, keep them separated. And so, as you see, I created my own bins using the 27-gallon totes I got from Sam's. They had an awesome deal back then. Prices have went up tremendously so far. And if you notice, one hole is missing the mesh. So, not just that one, but in the back here, you see the mesh is missing and it's kind of bitten right there. So that tells you I had a rodent messing with my worms. So I had to end up coming in here and try to sift the whole entire bin to see how many worms I can rescue out of here and see if I can actually get them to breed back up. I know all the species won't, but I would actually try. And I do have Africans, I do have Europeans, pure Europeans, and I do have pure reds. So I can technically put back some, but I don't have any swamp worms. So I would literally have to buy me some swamp worms just to recreate this, just to pay homage to this little experiment that I like so much. So before I was finished, I said, let me make a quick video and just explain how, when you're trying to be a worm farmer, these are little things that can happen. So in the future, 3 holes there, 2 on either side and 3 in the front is not necessary. I'm only gonna have probably the holes on either sides closer up to the rim to make it really hard to enter. And what I will do is use a steel mesh, because I realize you need air in the bin, but you don't need that much air, because if you ever have a time when you don't get to pay much attention to your worms and they're neglected a little bit, if you have a bin like this with only 2 holes and you use like the black trash bag, you just cut a piece and put on top. This one was in here that got all mixed in with the bedding and everything from my intruder. Oh, I got baby worms on here too. I gotta save that little guy. I will save you in a minute. But yeah, if you have that plastic on there and you have the lid covering the bin, see, this is the lid here, my little rake, and you have the bin covered, I promise you, you can neglect the worms for a month, 2 months. If you have at least bedding to about that much in there, probably about 1 inch above that hole, I promise you the worms will be just fine. They will eat the cardboard, the paper, because I mix coca cola with cardboard, peat moss, shredded cardboard, and paper, you know, junk mail, everything all in there, you know. And then I add my I even add pumice stones to it, you know. I picked that up from watching some videos. It keeps the bedding from clumping together. So if you notice, there's a lot of pumice stones in that. I got leaves and, you know, avocado skins that take forever to break down, but eventually they do. You know, you have all this good stuff mixed in, it gives them a lot to eat. I got cherry seeds in here. So if you do it like that, they can really survive through some neglect, because, you know, if you're just getting in, you're not gonna have the time you think you do to really pay that much attention to them. And I had to learn, because I had got sick. You know, COVID just had me all kind of messed up. So, you know, when situations come up, you want to have your worm set up to where, you know, even if you're not able to check in on a regular basis, even a month, crazy enough, having that black plastic on there and having the lid on the bin, and especially if you only have 2 holes, because even that hole, I had kind of covered it up with some tape, you know, just to limit how much airflow is in here, because this bin had a lot of airflow, but it still maintained decent moisture anyway. But it would have done better without those bottom holes. Definitely don't ever do those bottom holes. Even though you could, but it's not necessary. The bedding will get enough air flow, whether you know it or not, especially with the pumice stones. It will have airflow. You don't have to worry about it. I can tell you for sure, because I've done it on many bins. When I say I have a lot of bins, I have a lot of bins. A lot. I was trying to raise a lot of worms, and if you see up here, I just start doing 2 holes, and they're smaller holes. And these bins I'm gonna have to show some love to as well. But you don't need a lot of holes. So I'm saying on either end, underneath the handle, is the only place you need to put a hole. And that will definitely get the hole high enough. And since there's a little ridge here, rodents can't hang off and go over and, you know, so it will definitely prevent anything from getting in. And you will definitely have real good success, you know, even with a small bin like this. So you don't have to buy anything expensive. At Sam's, I get these under $12, and you're literally just drilling 2 holes and just putting a little mesh over it. And I recommend having some kind of chicken wire or something, and just use some hot glue. I was using aquarium safe glue, not glue but silicone for mine to hold that mesh in. But that mesh is soft. It's the mesh that, you know, go on a screen door. So for the time being, that was fine. So if you have your bins in an area where you won't have rodent problems, then yeah, you can use that. But just to be safe, use something harder for them to. So I recommend some steel wire. So I really wanted to share that because it really hurt me. This was definitely one of my favorite bins. And that's why I made sure to, you know, document what was in there. And so I know when I come over here, I'm checking this bin first. But I've sifted through almost all of it. And all the worms that I was able to rescue. Let's put some of this up here. Clear a little spot. I was able to rescue a few worms. We have one there. And if you see, we have a few more. We got a little action in here. So I was able to rescue a few of them. So all this bedding that I sifted here, I'm gonna restart another bin. I'm gonna do it smaller for the time being and give them a chance to recover. Look at that. We got some babies and stuff in there. So we still have some activity in here, which definitely, gave me a little peace of mind that they didn't all get devoured, which I know is impossible anyway, because they hide between my cardboard. That's why when I shred my cardboard, I try to shred them to where it has a little hole still there, because babies will go in that little holes. And some cardboard that's thick, that's like double ply, where it has 2 holes on top of each other, I cut those in squares and I soak them and I put those in the bottom of the bins, because that gives a nice hole where babies can go hang out, in a moist environment and grow up. So that's something that I did too. So when you see these big pieces, these were squares, and it just gives the little babies a little place to go hang out. So most times if I open some of these up, I'm liable to find a little baby. Look at that. I'm liable to find a little baby in there. So yeah, that happens. Let me just brush this little baby off in there. Yep, not hard to get them off. But yeah, it just gives them a little hiding place, to go grow up and mature. So most of these little pieces, if I was to actually open them up, I would most likely find babies in here. So they definitely lay cocoons and were breeding. And I'm sure when the population had dropped, they definitely started to breed. So I'm actually going to go back, because this is 1/4 inch. And I have my 1/8 inch that I'm going to go back through and sift through this again. Get all the big pieces out. And these castings, I'm actually going to keep them in a bucket. And I'm going to keep it very moist. And I'm going to set bait cups in there just in case, there's other cocoons in here that's going to hatch. And I'll be able to take those babies out and add them back to this bin I'm going to create. So, just a little quick video to do an update on that, because it's bound to happen. Every worm farmer has something that they go through. And I really feel like I should document mine, because it definitely hurt my feelings. It really did. Not just because they were sentimental to me, but, worms cost money. Worms could be easily $50 a pound. And, just the fact that this was a combination of different breeds, just made it just awesome for me. I don't know about you, but for me, it was pretty cool. And this is something I really wanted to keep going. I never had planned to sell any of those worms. I really was just going to keep that project going and multiply it and multiply it. And, just saying that now just lets me know that I'm definitely going to be recreating it, because I've ordered Europeans from her. I've ordered African night crawlers from her, separate. separately, and I just got red wigglers. So that means she's gonna have to sell me some swamp worms. So that way I can truly recreate this project and, you know, rebuild this, because I'm really hurt. I gotta be honest, I'm really hurt. And good news, last night that little rodent was caught on a glue trap. So, you know, problem solved there. Don't got to worry about that guy no more. You know, I got my revenge on him. But yeah, I think I'll close this video out here. Not much more to say about it. But just a quick update. You know, I have lots of videos that I've done from last year that I haven't posted yet. But best believe I plan on doing that. This one I'm not going to edit anything or worry about it. I'm just going to pretty much upload this video. But, you know, look out for videos in the future. Like I said, I have them stored up. Just got to go through, edit. You know, I'm a perfectionist, and it's just hard for me to just grab stuff and just put it out there. So I got to go back through, watch them, and, you know, see that it's quality material, because I am trying to give back to YouTube, because I've gotten so much, you know. So it's not even about monetizing or nothing. It's really about just giving back from my personal experiences, because I learned a lot from other YouTubers' personal experiences, other worm farmers' personal experiences, especially gardener worm lady. She's lost worms, she's made mistakes, you know what I'm saying? So we all go through our little ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we're worm farmers. We love our worms. And as you see, I love my worms too. So once you have a love of worms, you can do it. And not just love of worms, but love of health. Because to be honest with you, if you're not growing some food with this material here, your body is missing out. Because the leaves and stuff I feed to these worms, the trees have long roots that tap deep inside the earth, and they mine minerals from up the earth and distribute those minerals up in the leaves. The worms eat the leaves, process that, and lock that into the soil. And this, believe it or not, is the original time release. We have time release pills and stuff. This right here is original time release. This holds on to nutrients and time release them to the plants as needed, and gives the plants so much, you know, necessary microbes and trace minerals. It makes a lot of stuff bioavailable to the plants. So if you put this stuff at the root base of your plant, oh my God, your plant will thank you. It will make that plant so resistant to so many things. You know, this is like prebiotics, probiotics, a whole thing in one shot. You know, this is God's fertilizer. Let's put it like that. This is why you will never see somebody having to go to the rainforest and go sprinkle fertilizer, because we have leaves that fall on the ground. Worms will eat those leaves, you know, poop, because this is what this is, worm poop, you know, worm castings. And this is what nourishes the rainforest. So that's how you can have this nice, plush rainforest that nobody had to go plow, till, nothing. You know, nature just knows what to do. Nature don't waste anything. You know, when they say energy and then the creative destroyed, yeah, this is kind of in the same sense. Because everything that you eat, you know, gets recycled. And if we really operate on this level, the world would be a better place. Promise you that. So in a way, I'm trying to do my part. You know, I am diabetic and trying to do different, but I realize the food system right now is only set up to make sure we don't starve. But as far as being nourished, that's not going to happen. They really can't afford it. It's not profitable for them to grow this many worms, to create this much worm castings, to use this in the fields with the quantity of food needed. So we all got to do our little part, support local farmers, you know, have more people do local farming, use these methods, you know, of composting and reusing material instead of sending it to the dump. You know, so all my scraps from the kitchen and everything, it all goes in my worm bins. It all goes in my worm bins. And this is what you get back. And I've shifted out so much of this stuff that I have enough to share with some friends that's trying to garden this summer. Oh, look at here. That's another little one there. Did I get him? Yep. Put that one in the cup too. So when I sift this with a 1/8, I should be able to grab some other ones out of here. But this video is 20 minutes, so yes, I'll go ahead and close it out here. So until next time, bye-bye.